I will say the business has allowed me to, this is going to sound like an oxymoron, because you just said as a business owner, we're wearing many hats, we're in all aspects of the business, but it's allowed me and taught me to take care of myself, self-care.
Follow the Leader features dynamic women entrepreneurs in their journeys to becoming a success in business. This podcast is an inspirational space for entrepreneurs, future entrepreneurs, and thought leaders as they share their keys to success. I am Chanel Christoph Davis, the CEO and founding partner of the largest woman and minority-owned sales tax advisory practice in the country, Davis & Harmon, LLC. Today, we are joined by Renee Gilmore, our guest leader for today. She is the president and CEO of Firemans Paving Contractors. She has been in business under Firemans Paving Contractors for 5 years. She's a 2-time WBE of the Year for Women's Business Council Southwest, and she's been in the construction industry for about 12 years. So you're not new to entrepreneurship. No. This has been a part of your life for a while. You're award winner, as I said before, WBE of the Year, but also in 2019, Luna Hispanic Contractors Association named you the Established Service Firm of the Year, which is huge. So welcome.
Thank you.
Yay.
Honored to be here.
First of all, I'm taken aback and floored by how much you've been able to accomplish. We've kind of been watching each other from afar, but also closely. Not really from afar, kind of closely. And just kind of, checking each other out. And you are absolutely one of our stars in our association. And so tell me, what made you start a Fireman's Paving? Tell me what you do, first of all, and what made you start this company?
Well, before I do that, I have to congratulate you, Chanel, because like you said, we've been kind of, walking together along this journey.
Tandem.
Yeah,
yes.
Along this journey. And congratulations on your WBE Advocate of the Year Award for the Women's Business Council Southwest.
Yes.
So that's exciting.
It was a great night, right?
Yes, it was a lot of fun.
We're coming off a week of that celebration at the Parade of Stars.
Yes.
And I was completely shocked. You seemed like you were like, oh, yeah, of course.
No, I was so shocked.
I'm just kidding.
And I won the earrings from the Bling Box Award.
Oh, yeah, you had a fabulous night.
Yes.
She walked away with gorgeous diamond stud earrings.
And an award.
And an award.
Yeah.
So you were like winning times 2. I couldn't believe it. When you posted it, I'm like, and you got the earrings.
Girl, raise the roof. We were having a good time.
Those are gorgeous.
Thank you. I had to wear them to show them off.
They are beautiful.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Thanks to JC Penney's and the Women's Business Council.
Yeah. So you opened your box and the earrings were in there, or did they have a slip of paper that says?
Well, there was a blue slip of paper that said, come to the stage to receive your diamond stud earrings. And so I think I was still on a high from winning the earrings. So when the awards were announced, I think I was just...
You still was on the earrings.
Yeah.
Like, I got diamonds. Yeah, okay.
So the earrings go really well with my award.
The award is beautiful.
It looks beautiful. Really nice.
It's a crystal star, trophy. Is gorgeous.
It is. It's beautiful.
Yes.
But you had asked me what got me into the construction industry.
Well, first of all, what made you start, what made you want to be an entrepreneur? Take us from the beginning.
From the beginning.
Yeah, what made you want to do this? Because you were in corporate.
I was in corporate. I was a computer nerd.
Okay.
So computer science is my background.
Okay.
And I was in corporate healthcare insurance for about 12 years.
Interesting. Okay.
And I had always strived for something more. Okay. I'm married to a firefighter, hence the name of our company, Firemans Paving Contractors.
Great branding. And on your T-shirt.
Yep. Owned and operated by a woman, by a firefighter wife. And but not a lot of firefighters are married to corporate women. So 90% of firefighters are married to teachers or nurses.
Interesting.
I do not meet that profile.
No, that's I would never have thought that.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Well, I think the schedules are so erratic. So when I worked corporate, working Monday through Friday, and I might work weekends or nighttime if the server went down, firefighters work 24 hours on, 48 hours off.
So the wives have to have more of a controlled, flexible schedule. And nurses are perfect because they actually, they're on call, or they can control their schedule a little bit more.
Yeah. And teachers, they have the summers off, holidays off.
Interesting.
Uh-huh.
I never thought about that. Okay.
So
but you decided.
So I kind of had a fork in the road in my corporate career. I was an executive at 28, 30 years old. And a lot of my peers were older, and either their kids were grown or they were younger and they were single and no kids. So I could kind of see the writing on the wall where we had to make a change.
You have to make a shift.
So I left corporate and started doing some things on the side. But I'll tell you, so my last day in corporate was April 1st, April Fool's Day. I'm a little bit of a jokester.
You did not plan that, though.
Yes, I did.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So I resigned on April Fool's Day. My last day in corporate America was April 15th, tax day. And 6 months later, I found out I was pregnant.
Wow.
So my husband and I were married for about 9-10 years before we had our son.
Okay, so you were already married, but just didn't have any kids.
Didn't have any kids.
Okay.
So I found out we were pregnant. I was kind of on a honeymoon stage, enjoying the pregnancy, enjoying life, because I've always been kind of a workaholic.
Yeah, so you're kind of kicking back like, okay, I'm about to
life is good.
Ride this one out. Yeah.
And I had our son in 2004. And then I had some health issues. I found out about a year after he was born that I had endometriosis.
Okay.
And so I struggled with that for about 10 years. And so my husband started a painting business, Painting by Fireman, on the side to help make ends meet.
Okay.
And it allowed me to stay home with our son. And then as I got healthier, I realized I could either go back into
a corporate environment,
or I could help with the business. So my background is systems and customer service. And so I started running the business, and we evolved from a painting business to a parking lot maintenance company.
Interesting.
So we were painting houses, and then we were painting homes in Highland Park, and realized that wasn't my passion.
That wasn't your passion,
if you will. So I started networking with fire marshals in the area, being married to a firefighter. And our first parking lot paving maintenance job was striping. So we had our painting crew taping and rolling fire lanes for an airport, for a small airport, private airport.
The stripes that says red, don't park here. Okay.
So we started looking into that and realized that was not the way to go.
Okay.
But that was our grand beginning.
Okay. They introduced you into a different aspect of construction and contracting. Okay.
Yeah. But I had always wanted a business that met 3 requirements.
Oh, this is good.
And I call them the 3 R's.
You have a lot of acronyms and a lot of alliteration. You have a lot of these.
I told you I'm a nerd. I'm a total nerd.
Okay. All right.
So I was looking for a business that was repeat, required, and recession resistant. And so parking lot maintenance is something that is required every 1 to 3 years, if not more.
Interesting. Because of wear and tear.
Wear and tear. The sun. Texas is awesome for our business because you've got the heat, you've got the sun.
Heat.
The rain right now is creating havoc on concrete parking lots, creating potholes
Craters
galore.
and potholes.
So,
and the ordinances probably require public spaces to be maintained.
Yep. Local, city, national ADA requirements for disability. So they met the 3 requirements. So, and in the painting industry, you paint on average every 7 years. So again, more consistently in the parking lot aspect of it. So we started off striping.
So how did you find out that research? So how did you find out that painting, I guess, buildings is, I guess, painting park? What made you think that way? And how did you validate that theory that painting a parking lot would be more frequent than painting a home?
Well, I think with research,
okay,
and then connecting with other contractors and
so you were learning the industry. Questions.
Oh, absolutely. I'm very inquisitive.
Okay.
So
you were like, well, how often do you have to paint this parking lot? How often are you required to paint it? How much maintenance is required?
Right. And so that's just how we started. So then we kind of hung up the painting aspect of it.
So were you painting interiors or exteriors?
We were painting interior, exterior,
so
residential, commercial.
Okay.
And then once we got into commercial, I liked the commercial aspect a lot better. It was more cut and dry. The only downfall with transitioning from residential to commercial was the monies.
Okay.
Because in corporate, you get paid 30, 60, 90
right. There's
plus
a payment
days
term.
out compared to that of residential. But then we just evolved, really. So we've really failed forward. So we got into parking lot striping, then signage, and then the wheel stops, the car stops, where you park the car and it stops the car.
Right. Or you hit them.
Yes,
Okay.
or you hit them.
Or maybe just me.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Or scrape the bottom of your car.
Scrape the bottom of your car. That doesn't happen. Go ahead.
Concrete, asphalt.
I'm helping you out.
Yes,
okay?
you are.
I'm giving maintenance. I'm scratching it up so you get work.
If Chanel goes to your place of business, you need car stops. Yes. But it's just expanded. So now we are your one-stop shop solution for everything outside of your business doors, from your sidewalk to your parking lot.
See, in my thought process, or I would have thought that you would have transitioned from interiors to exteriors, but stayed with painting buildings. But you totally changed over to maintenance and repair and upkeep on paving roads in parking lots.
And, it was a gradual transition because we did paint commercial buildings as well. And we still paint some of interior warehouses. Okay. But we just really found a niche that we're good at, we enjoy. We've built the relationships in the industry. So
talk about that. Do you find that having a niche, is it a drawback for you, or is that a part of your branding that actually elevates you and pushes you forward and make you more marketable? Tell us about being in a niche. I'm asking this because I'm in a niche market as well. Mm-hmm. But how do you perceive your being a niche service?
Well, I think it's been vital to our success. I think when we first started, my motto was, you name it, we'll paint it. And that got me into a lot of trouble, into a lot of stuff we didn't want to do. And so now, with being the paving and parking lot maintenance specialist, we have professionals that have come in that have years of experience and service and relationships. And because so much of what we do is repeat, 80% of our customers, we have a 80% retention rate. You have to have that skill set to maintain and support and build upon that reputation year after year and create that value for the customer.
So you found that having a dedicated lane has actually been a strong suit for you.
It has.
And getting rid of the mindset of you name it, we paint it has really served your organization and propelled it forward.
Absolutely.
And I really want to spend some time there because I think, we're talking to entrepreneurs and potential entrepreneurs. Oftentimes when people approach me and ask for advice, they are in the process of trying to flesh out what their product or service is going to be. And I ask them, qualifying questions, and they say what you just said. Oh, I can do anything for anybody. And I'm like, no, you want to tighten that up. You need to figure out exactly who your customer is and what makes you different and what's your differentiation, like what makes you unique, because otherwise people don't know what to do with you. And you think it's going to make the phone ring off the hook, but it's going to make people really gloss over you. Yeah, because they don't know what to do with you. They're like, well, I don't know if she does this. I'm not really clear. It's not specific enough. And it actually causes you more angst for the customer, as well as for the people internally who's trying to figure out what are we supposed to be doing here? What's our mission?
But I think it comes with time and experience. Because I never dreamed in a million years I'd be in the paving industry. I've learned more about concrete, asphalt,
Isn't that coating. Interesting?
Like even looking at the parking lot out here, there's a specialty coating on the garage deck. Driving down the highway, I can see where they've grinded and the epoxy coatings. So I've learned more about this industry than I ever thought I would.
Wow.
But I feel like that's just kind of how we were led to serve and support. And we found a need.
Yes.
You find a need and you fill it.
Yes.
So I think especially for new business owners, it will evolve. Your business is going to look totally different in 5 years from now than the time that you started. So you kind of have to go with that flow and be open to where the market kind of takes you. And then when you find that niche, you just learn everything that you can about it and surround yourself. And surround yourself by people that are smarter than you. And just get yourself out of the way. I think that was the biggest thing for me, is just move and let it go.
Just let it flow. So what have been some of your keys? We just talked about one key, which is finding your niche. I don't want to just gloss over that because that's huge. But what have been some of your other keys to success? as an entrepreneur? Because I'm saying in 5 years you've accomplished so much, which is very rare. We talked about a little bit that you're still very much in the heart of your business. Like at this point, you're kind of in a hustle mode.
Oh, yeah.
So you don't have the luxury to do a lot of extraneous things to promote your business. You kind of have to let your business lift itself and move itself forward by all the hard work that you're doing. But what has been some of the keys to success for you that you found?
Well, in 2016.
Well, I know alliterations and having letters on things that helps.
Yes.
Because you got a lot of those.
Yes.
But other than that, okay.
I really think our certifications have been a huge part of our success. And so our WBE certification, Hub, we are WOSB, Women-Owned Small Business. We are pending so many acronyms. We are pending DBE certification.
So we might want to define some of those. WBE is Women's Business Enterprise.
Yes.
That's the certification.
Yes.
Hub is Historically Underutilized Business because you're a woman.
Yes.
WOSB, you just named that one. And then what's the next acronym? It's like alphabet soup.
It is. And it's overwhelming, actually, when you get into it. Disadvantaged Business Entity.
That's DBE.
Is DBE. And each certification serves a different purpose.
Yes.
So, for example, the Hub certification has helped us working with independent school districts, universities,
state, local.
Yeah. And then the WBE has been helpful in working with corporations, meeting their sustainability goals. So that has really helped catapult us forward, and being a member of the Women's Business Council Southwest, just because being a woman in a male-dominant industry, the Women's Business Council gave me a forum, if you will, a platform. I'm in business for myself, but I'm not by myself.
Yes.
And I've learned so much from women like you and other women that have been in business for themselves for years. Like one of my mentors is Glenda Pinkston. She owned a fire sprinkler company for years. And I want to grow up and be like her. I think they owned it for, I don't know, like 30 years. And then they sold their business. And she's become one of my dear friends and mentors. And I've just learned so much from her and their experience. So.
And how do you find mentors? How do you find great mentors? Because she sounds amazing.
She is amazing. Well, I was introduced to her through my banker. So through relationship, through connecting with different people and just taking that time to really get to know others and allowing yourself to be vulnerable and transparent and
say what you don't know.
Yes. And ask for help. I'm not afraid to ask for help. So
it's very, very important to ask for help. And I think sometimes people feel overwhelmed and they don't want to display what they don't know. But really half the people in the room don't know what's going on. I mean, nobody knows. We're all trying to figure it out. Some people are a little bit further along in the journey. But absolutely, if you humble yourself and, really go to people in earnest and say, hey, I need help in this area, especially if someone refers you is even better. I think that's the best way to start relationships, and to also approach it. And I tell this to my mentees all the time, is when you're asking for a mentorship-mentee relationship, it doesn't have to have a title on it. Maybe you don't really call that person your mentor to their face, but you know that's who they are. But it's a give and take. It's a giver's gain relationship. It has to be reciprocity. So you're bringing her gifts as well. I'm sure you are.
I hope so.
Glenda. Well, it has to be, a reciprocal relationship, so I think that's important as well, is that you're giving, important wisdom and helping them along their journey as well. So they have a lot to offer, but you have a lot to offer. So
I certainly hope so.
Yeah. So since you've come from, I guess, a corporate computer science background, I'm sure your technology in your company is awesome.
We do have really cool system.
Share. What are you doing technology-wise? Everyone's talking about AI, EIO. It drives me crazy. I'm like, oh, okay. So now robots. We're supposed to have robots at our office, but whatever. Okay. So tell us about your AI and your technology.
Well, I will say it's one of those things where if you don't use it, you lose it. So I can't say I'm as technically advanced as I would like to be.
Okay.
But we do have a proprietary software system that has helped us get us to where we are and will help us be scalable and grow.
Okay.
So it's called Firebase.
Cool.
And so it's a proprietary software system, and it's a military name.
Okay.
Where I don't know the background of it, but it houses all of our customers from start to finish, from the time we do the bid to the time we do the job, the scheduling, the calendaring, the invoicing, the payment. So
it's like your project management tool.
yes, and
Okay.
it's online, so we can access it from anywhere. So
you can pull it up on an iPad if you're out at a work site. That's really dope.
yes,
So does it have all your contracts, bids, and all that housed in one place too?
it does.
That's advanced.
And it does help
That's
us.
impressive.
It helps us to respond quickly to our customers. So that is one of the things that differentiates us from our customers. So unless it's, of course, a big project, a new development project, we can typically go out, measure the parking lot, repairs and whatnot, and turn around the estimate in 24, 48 hours.
Oh yeah, that's
that
very
helps.
unique.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's
Yeah, so that, I mean, I can imagine I could think of so many aspects of how that is a good use of your time of developing something like that. And also in the aspect of communicating within your team, you have to figure out how to, technology has to help you to keep you guys close because you're at job sites. You're all over the place.
Yep.
Okay. So how many people do you have on your team now?
You know what? We really just have around 13.
That's not small.
So
I mean, that's significant. Especially if you start from, how did you start? Like, where were you when you started? Was it you and...
Well, it was me and Aaron. But we have a really good team. So we have an amazing office manager where I say her office is like the kitchen where
everybody comes to corral.
Everything goes through the kitchen. Everything goes through her. Then we have a couple of sales representatives, business developers, we call them, and they both have years of experience
in this industry.
Okay. So they have really helped us take the business to the next level. Okay. So now they're bidding and doing jobs where it is beyond my level of expertise. Wow. So I'm so grateful for them. And then of course our crews, and I have an amazing leadership board. A gentleman that we brought in that serves as our CFO.
Oh, good.
And I am unworthy of him. He has so much experience in construction and other businesses, multi-million-dollar businesses. And he's really helped me to expand my thinking and has really helped prepare us for growth and position ourselves for growth from the point of project management, bonding capacity, line of credit, just fill those relationships and just prepare us for the next level.
And that's a whole nother podcast, is developing relationships in banking and finance so that you can prepare yourself and prop yourself up for growth. That's a whole different aspect of your business that really no one talks about.
And it's one of the most vital.
It's very important. It's the lifeblood of your company. So it's one of the most critical things that you have to start to flush out. So that's good. So you have a team member that's working on that. So you have your WOSB. Are you going after any federal government contracts?
You know, I need to wrap my brain around that a little bit more.
That's
it is a lot.
That's a whole nother animal. Okay.
And that's where our CFO does have experience there.
Oh, good.
But it's one of those things too, where position yourself for it, because right now the economic climate is good.
Yes.
And so positioning ourselves so that way when there is a dip, that's where the contractors are going to go, and we want to already be positioned to capitalize on that.
Interesting. Okay. All right. That's interesting. So what do you have planned next for your business? What are your dreams? Or for yourself, maybe you have something specific for Renee.
Ooh. Well, I will say the business has allowed me to, this is going to sound like an oxymoron, because you just said as a business owner, we're wearing many hats, we're in all aspects of the business, but it's allowed me and taught me to take care of myself, self-care. So it's kind of like as a mom, and even on the planes, they tell you, if you're going to crash.
Mask on first on yourself.
Before you can help somebody else. It's kind of like being a mom, you have to take care of yourself before you can take care of your kids.
And I'm sure that they created that announcement specifically for women.
Yeah.
Because we were probably trying to save everybody else on the plane first. So that's very important. So what are you doing now?
Well, so early on in developing the culture of our company, and my CFO, like I was telling you, and I had another mentor, Dina Dwyer Owens. who at the time was the CEO and president of Neighborly, the Dwyer Group.
Okay.
Anyway, they had given me advice of take care of yourself, work out, get a housekeeper. Yeah, see, you just rolled your eyes.
No, ooh, that's some great advice.
It was. And I didn't understand it for the longest time. One, I was like, when am I going to have time to work out?
Because I'm like, yes.
Yes, it's so true.
It's very important.
You cannot afford not to do those things.
Yes.
But those things were, for whatever reason, hard for me to let go of. I might be a little bit of a control freak.
Okay.
But once I started working out, taking care of myself, getting massages, doing things for myself, reading, taking time, literally scheduling time in my calendar just to breathe, read. Yes.
That's good stuff.
And hire a housekeeper. So that way, when I am with my family, I'm present with my family. When I am with my team, I'm present with my team. Those things I think really helped catapult me to where we are today. And now it has allowed me, one of my dreams was, you asked me what I wanted to do personally. So one of the things that we love to do is travel. And so one of my dreams was to travel once a quarter.
Okay.
And it doesn't have to be anything major. It could be just an extended weekend. But that's something we've been able to accomplish over the last several years.
Nice.
Another dream of mine was to take a break from Christmas Eve to New Year's Day in the business. So we have been able to do that. Granted, there are some projects that have to be done during that time, but we're not doing any new development during that time.
Okay.
From a business perspective, well, before I even go back to the business, personally, 2020 is my 25th wedding anniversary and my son's 16th birthday.
Nice.
So it'll be a fun year.
Huge landmarks.
Yeah.
Awesome.
2 huge milestones.
25 years. Congratulations.
Yes.
That's a huge
I got married when I was 12.
You were 12 years old? And your family let you leave?
You can do that in Nebraska.
Nebraska allows that?
No.
I'm like, wow,
Just kidding. No.
That's also, what do you have planned? Do you want to share? Or you have y'all planned? Just tell me if you planned something.
Well, we have plans.
Good.
Yes.
That's awesome. That's part of self-care too.
Yes, it is. So self-care has been huge.
So you're preparing, you have a son.
I do.
You're preparing for him to fly the coop and start his life.
He's only 15.
He's about to be 16
down.
is what you said.
Yes.
So how does that feel?
Oh, we're having so much fun.
Good.
He's a lot of fun.
Is he involved at all in the business? Is he expressing an interest? Put it that way.
I would say no.
He's not interested. Okay.
He does help his daddy out in the field doing some jobs.
So your husband's involved?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
So my husband's more the technician doing some of the work himself.
Didn't know. Okay, so you have an almost built-in workforce of firemen, retired firemen. Is it working like that?
Retired.
No, I'm just saying, not him, but other. Is it working like that? Or are you getting
it's not. I would have thought
not.
I wish. I would have thought we had more firefighters working in the business.
I assumed if I pull up on one of your crews, I would be like, okay, well.
It's just Aaron. Just Aaron.
That's funny.
And then a whole bunch of skilled worker bees out there that have worked in the business for years.
Wow.
But yeah, firefighters don't want to work that hard off duty.
Are you serious? Okay.
It's hard work.
Yeah. So how does the weather affect what you do? Because we are having a monsoon right now in Dallas. How does that work?
Well, it definitely does slow us down.
Okay.
Right now, we're doing a lot of estimating. So I know the business developers are working behind the computers.
Scenes. Okay.
There's a lot of prep work that goes into these jobs. But we did just finish a huge interior warehouse.
Oh, wow.
So whether rain or shine, we can do that type of work.
Okay.
So that's good. And really, after this rain settles down, our phones are going to blow up just because of potholes.
Everything's going to be up. Dang, I didn't even think about it that way, but that was very smart,
So
Renee.
now it is the rest before the storm comes.
Wow. Good for
It's the
you.
quiet before the storm.
Good for you for picking a niche like that. That's awesome. That's awesome. So I think you've kind of given us a little bit of a clue about this, but I'm going to ask again. What does Renee do for fun that's just for Renee, for no one else?
Well, I would say working out.
Okay.
Is something I do for myself.
And what do? You run or?
You know what? I have been going to Orange Theory.
I keep hearing about Orange Theory.
I love it.
Do you really?
I do.
Okay.
Because I just sign up on an app, show up, sign up, show up, do it.
Okay.
Leave. They kick my butt.
Okay.
Because I wouldn't work out that hard myself.
Okay.
And I've seen a transformation in my body. And
so it's intense for a short period of time.
It is.
Okay. Yeah. You're like the second or third person to tell me about Orange Theory being one of their little tips.
I do. I love it.
Okay. Cool.
And then something funny that you'll get a kick out of is I love to play pickleball.
What is pickleball?
So pickleball.
Is that Nebraska too?
No, but it's everywhere. It's probably more of a 55 and over sport. I want to say.
Stop it.
And I'm not there yet.
Stop it, I say.
But it is something you can do with your entire family. So my son. Okay. So it's a cross between tennis, ping pong, and badminton.
Okay.
So you can fit 4 pickleballs in 1 tennis court.
Okay.
And so it's something I can do with my husband. My husband's very athletic.
Okay.
Hence he's a firefighter.
So you have to do it on the tennis court.
You could, I mean, we've done it in our driveway, but yeah, just a small little tennis court.
Okay.
I can play with my husband. I can play with my son. My son's 15, but he's 6'4", 280 pounds.
Okay.
I would get hurt playing anything else with him.
Right. So you could actually compete.
Yes, because I might be a little competitive also.
It sounds like. Okay, go ahead.
But we've had family reunions where we're playing with our 6-year-old cousins to my 90-year-old grandma. We could all play together.
Wow.
So
okay, I'm going to have to look that up. Pickleball. I've never heard of that. Okay, interesting. All right.
It's fun.
So what else would you like to share with our audience? You are our guest leader. You're the woman of the hour. What would you like to share with those people who are watching you and like in awe of all that you have accomplished in 5 years? You want to give them any words of wisdom?
Well, I would say if I can do it, you can do it. I am nobody special. I am average intelligence. Just work hard. One of my favorite quotes is the secret to success is not the will to win, because everybody has that, but is the will to prepare to win. And so I just think if it's something that you want, just do today what others won't, so tomorrow you can do what others can't. And it's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, but if you have that dream and that will and that desire, just do it.
You can make it happen. Mm-hmm. Well, thank you, Renee. And how can everyone find you? How would they find your business if they want to learn more about you?
Well, they can find us on www.firemanspaving.com. And on
LinkedIn?
And on LinkedIn, we're out there too, Firemans Paving Contractors.
All right.
So,
well, thank you, Renee. This was awesome. And I'm sure the audience absolutely wrote down several things that you said. And we appreciate you sharing all your wisdom and knowledge.
Well, thank you so much, Chanel.
All right. You can find all of our past episodes on iTunes, Spotify, and Google, or any of your other favorite podcast platforms. Be sure to subscribe to the show, rate, and leave us a review. Let us know how we're doing. Thank you for listening.